Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Primetime Home Buyers Summer Buyback. How is it going, everybody? You're here with Lashley, and we're here again with part 6, I believe, of our summer investment. Can I call it a program, extravaganza, whatever you want to call it? But either way, we're learning how to invest in tax liens and tax deeds in the state of Georgia. And again, we will be focusing on specifically Clayton County today. So we definitely know that we're going to be going to 2 tax lien investments live auctions. One that'll be coming up on July the 6th, and the other one is August the 3rd. So again, the one that's coming up July the 6th next week will be taking place in Clayton County. So in the previous weeks, what we did was actually go over the list, show you where to obtain the tax lien list, find out if we had to be registered for the list, and now we're getting ourselves prepared. So we saw the list last week and we were interested in a hotel. They had a beautiful hotel that was going for about $23,000 or so in tax lien investment versus, I think it was a worth, let me guesstimate. Let me look at the paper instead of guesstimating. This property was worth $614,000, and the initial carry-out bid was $28,000, and it was for back taxes for 2018, 19, 20. The hotel on Dixie Highway. So we looked into that, and if you don't recall or you wasn't able to see that video, I want you to go stroll down in the Facebook group or in the YouTube page and look for that video. If it's not up on the YouTube page, it'll be uploaded this week. So right now, we're going to look at that same list. And as we talked about, the list is always updated as everyone start to pay for their tax liens. So we have to be aware of it. The list can be get smaller and smaller. The good thing is that when we invest, we go look into Clayton County, we have a big list of over 5,000 houses. You know, I showed you that Excel document last week, so we're going to go back over that in about a week or so. The Excel document, we're going to show you how to break it down to get the specific information you need for, you know, what you want to invest. But let's get into Clayton County. Clayton County. I hope everyone is doing well today. And before we move on, let me make sure that we are broadcasting properly, because y'all know I'm my own engineer. So let me just check, and I'm glad that y'all here with us, and I'm glad that you're part of the buyback team, and I hope that you're enjoying all the information that we have to share, and you're learning as you go, because once you get the hang of this investing in tax liens and tax deeds, you can literally apply this across the board in any state, any county across the United States. Okay, so also I want to remind you guys that next week, or a matter of fact the week after that, we will be going to Maryland. That's going to be a bonus summertime feature where we're going to go look at some land that Primetime invested in, and just to show you, you know, in real time. And we're going to go over that Pacific investment, the timeline, how long it took, you know, and how much the property is worth, and the possible things that we can do with it. So let's add the screen. Sorry for the screen being black. Let's capture the screen. Usually this setup already, it caught me off guard, because once I go to screen 2, it's supposed to be up there. So let's go. Let's get to Clayton County. Alright, so this was the first link that we showed you about 3 weeks ago, where you can actually see the original newspaper article pertaining to the tax lien sale. We had one up for Clayton County, as well, we had one up for Gwinnett County. So this was the listing. If you don't remember, we're going to just show you. It actually shows you the dates that they're going to be hosting the actual tax lien sale to get you prepared. And then it gives you some access to the delinquent tax lien list, but sometimes it's not always up to date. But this information right here is very important because here you go. We have the dates that we're going to be, going to the tax lien sale. So we're going to be going to, this one is July. And we have July the 7th. Excuse me. Publication date, sale date. We're going to the July the 6th. I do apologize. The July the 6th sale. Here we go. So this is the one that we're going to be going to this month. So we showed you this. Now we're going to move on to showing you where to get the list again. It's pretty simple. This is the Clayton County list. I wanted to show you guys there is a marked difference of what's going on. This was the list that we looked at last week. This list last week had about 2 pages. Now, as you see, when we started a few weeks ago, it was 3 pages. Now it's 2 pages. And when you look, this is the list we were going off last week, where we did see that property we were interested in, which was, as I told you, the Dixie Highway, the hotel on Dixie Highway. This is what we were looking into last week. And now we're going to have to look for the updated list. So let's just go back. I'm going to show you where to get the updated list if you don't remember. I'm trying to just get a blank page up here so I can show you guys. And it takes a simple Google search. All you have to put in Clayton County, Georgia tax lien list. And as you know, we already did our research. Excuse me, I had to make sure that nothing pop up on you guys. We're going to open it up, the Clayton County Tax Commissioner office. This is just a review to show you where to get the list in. Okay. And we're going to have the updated list. So here we go. We're at the Tax Commissioner office of Clayton County, Georgia. And here we're going to go to tax sale. Now, when you hit tax sale, this is how theirs come up. It's different in every county, but this is how theirs come up. And as you can see, the list has gotten much smaller. So we're going to see how this tax sale goes, how many people are out there, how aggressive there are. It should be pretty interesting, and it shouldn't be that long because it's only about, how can we say, it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 properties, about 10 properties, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, about 10 properties that's up there for tax lien sales. So some county tax lists are very big and some county tax lists are very small. So this week we're not going to be able to continue our research on the Hotel Dixie because there's not up here anymore. Someone paid the taxes for it because they did not want to lose that big nice hotel, because that would have been a great profit for someone. So we're going to look at just the first property here. It's at 8072 Crane Road. And we have the parcel number as well as the owner's information, the years, and the value of the property versus out the bid to carry it. So you know when we go to the tax lien sale, specifically they're going to be starting with this entry number, bidding amount, and they're going to be going up in increments. Now, I don't specifically know what the increments. Sometimes counties set their increments like increments of $10, $20, but some don't. So most don't, but just be aware. I haven't seen any of that in the rules as far as Clayton County, but everything is pretty much online with Clayton County if you've been following the program. So let's start our research. What we're going to do, we showed you the refined list. Now, in this broadcast, what we're going to do is basically show you where to kind of look at the key information about the property, kind of do a general list research to see if the deeds are in sequence, because you don't want to have a issue with the title. What I have learned and what I remember is that Georgia itself, when you foreclose, they foreclose with a perfected title. So you don't have to actually go worry too much about the title being defected, meaning, maybe there's something where it was the description is wrong. There's many reasons why the description is wrong, or let's say the title wasn't transferred over property and properly, and that's a main reason. That's a big reason. And when that happens, you have to get a title company, and a title company will not only fix those defects, but they will ensure to make sure that there's no more liens on the property, on the title. So that's why it's good too as well. Once you become a sound advocate, investor in the tax lien game, you want to have a few things in your pocket, and that's definitely a lawyer. If you take that route, it's always good to have a specialist. Even if you're foreclosing on yourself, you have many lawyers that will just consult with you to make sure that you're on the right path, as well as, some will walk you through the process to make you more educated the next time that you want to do the process yourself. So I always say get a specialist, as well as when you do your title search. When you do your title search and you want to make sure that the title is perfected outside of the state of Georgia or any state, it's good, depending on the state law, to have a title company. Now, if you know that the Pacific state perfects their titles, you don't really have to worry about a title company. Now, you can get that information, as we stated, you can get that information from the actual Primetime Home Buyers Directory that kind of give you a breakdown of some of the laws, or where to find the laws pertaining to the foreclosure process or the tax lien process. Bear with me. It's trying not to let me copy and paste this. But what I want to do is copy and paste this actual parcel number, because the parcel number is where we're going to start our research. Now, moving forward, we looked at the list. We got one page list. We're going to, I do apologize. We're going to start with the homeowner's information and the address. Now, when you look at the list, this is the address. We're going to go to the address. Let's do the address first. Let's look at the house before we even do anything. Let's go just do a simple Google search on the house. Let's see if we could pull up the information. This is the address, Jonesboro. We know that it's in Clayton County, so it is Jonesboro area. And now we're going to just take a look at the property. Let's see if we can look at it and see if this is something that you're interested in. Now, the property doesn't look too bad. It's 785 square feet. It doesn't look like it is a shack, but it does look like it needs some work done to it. Now, depending on how much the tax lien is versus the value, as well as the commodities which you're looking for in the community, we talked about that. If this is something of your picking, if you feel like you can, take this property and add on, because just because you have a small home doesn't mean that you can't add on to the property. So it's many options depending on, what you plan to do. So this is kind of like a general picture of the property. We're going to X out of there because I want to see, can we look at the actual area? Now, this is through, a local vendor. We're going to go back to Google because we want to keep it generic, but let's see, can we find the property on Google? So we already know it's a 2-bedroom apartment, a home, 1 bathroom, 784 square feet. Let's see, can we look at it on a map, the Google Maps? See, can we get a good look at it, and see if it's something that we want to invest in. Now, we definitely see it's an international park that's here. That's not too bad. We do have some water. Maybe this is inside of a cul-de-sac area. Don't know if it's like a dam or something. We do have water over here, and we do have neighborhoods. So we're going to keep that in mind because we definitely know that it's within living conditions. So that's one of the first things you want to see. You don't want to just have a property in the middle of nowhere unless you're just looking for land. And if you have that property in the middle of nowhere, you want to make sure that you have access to it. So let's pull this up. This is the same picture that they have on Zillow. So we definitely know that that's the same house. We want to start finding consistencies when we're looking at the property. So this is a little property, a little shack. We're going to take a look. Let's pull out a little bit. Let's pull out and see, can we look at the neighborhood? Out. Not in. Oh. And now you can see the houses on the hill a little bit too. So you got to keep that in mind, because sometimes houses that's on a hill is not always structurally strong. You see how you can just look and see things within, you know, the property just by taking a general look. When you're looking at the tax lien, we're going to pull out just a little bit. I have heard some stories about, you know, structure issues, or especially in Georgia, you got to be careful because in some of those rural areas where they have properties and have a lot of land, sometimes they was built over swampland. So we're just taking a general look of the area. The houses are not too close to each other. It seems like a pretty busy highway, so we can look to figure out what highway that is. And we're just kind of just looking around the neighborhood. We're just taking a look. We could scroll down the street, see who our neighbors would be, see how the neighborhood look. You could kind of get an idea just by having a general synopsis. Now, sometimes these pictures are not always up to date, but as you can see, you have people with furnished lawns, nice gardens. So these are some of the things you want to look for, especially if it's at a property that you possibly plan on living in or renting as well. You want to have good areas. So we looked at it. Okay, so we went through that in more detail in earlier videos of basically what to look for, the value of the home, you know, what you can possibly sell it for. We got a general idea based on the list what the property go for, but you need to do a detailed research. So right now we see this is 2 years behind. Clayton County, you can see the taxes are pretty expensive, so you have to be prepared that when you own this house, or if you do, that you're going to have taxes in and about the 2,000 mark. Obviously, you know, just kind of paying attention to it. You got to have your eyes on the prize. You know, this is what you're going to possibly owe every year. You don't owe a mortgage, but you probably owe that. So you just got to keep that in mind. And that's not bad. $2,000 for a home that you own without a mortgage. You know, you're just starting off with that. You know, some people pay $2,000 just for 1 month of mortgage. So we're gonna go back. We see that we're gonna continue to focus on this little home. Maybe we're interested. Let's see. We're interested in the home. We have the information of the homeowner and the parcel information. So this is where we're gonna start to move on, and we're gonna go look at the housing records. So this is the home. It's a little shack. I think this is another property I was looking at. When we go on the list, we can look at other properties. This is the old list. We're going to get rid of the old list because we already know that list's been refined. I think this is another copy. Okay, and also I wanted to show you guys, I did leave in the link of the last video. They actually have 2 lists up. They have the August sale up because they have an August sale coming up on August the 3rd. So Clayton County has an auction on August the 3rd that has a list of properties as well. And you can obtain that list on the same website. So if y'all want that information, let me know. We can go back down that rabbit hole as well. But we won't be able to attend Clayton County's tax lien sale again, but for this month, because we're going to be going to Gwinnett County in that same week. But a lot of active tax lien investors, they're able to go into 2 and 3 tax lien sales and have also people there, you know, bidding for them. This is how advanced it gets. And then they issue the check on their behalf, and then they can be in different counties. So this is how advanced tax lien investments can be. So this is a copy of the list that is there for August, but this list is most likely refined too. So we'll go over that in another broadcast, or I will show you the refined list for August just before or at the end of next week's broadcast when we do our live auction. Okay, let's play some music in the background. This was the hotel that we were looking at. This was the hotel that was worth $600,000, y'all. For somebody paid that tax lien. They was like, ain't nobody getting this. They gonna put their money into it and they gonna make it work. So that's off the tax list. Now let's go into Clayton County. Now we already know. I shared this link. I'll share this link with you. Clayton County. GA.gov, government tax assessors, property search information. So what we're going to do is go into real property records, and we're going to open it, and we're going to go look for our information pertaining to this actual. Let me make sure I have the address and everything written down. You want to have all your information written down. Be easy for you, or you could copy and paste it. I hope that you're enjoying the broadcast and you're learning a lot. I see that we also have, new members to the buyback family on Facebook. Thank you. The numbers are just going up. So I hope that you are learning a lot. We're going to do 2 today just to show you some background information on them. And also we're going to go into finding out if these homeowners have any court issues. So we got that. We got the address. We got the parcel information. Let's make sure. Let me copy and paste this because we want it to be perfect as far as the parcel information. All right, let's get into this. Now we go to real property. We hit real property search. We open that in another tab. This is the tab. We agree to everything. We just going to use this for information, educational purposes only. And we're going to paste just like this, because when you read the directions, it says the example, you're supposed to have a space and everything. And we're going to put for 2020 year, and we're going to search via the parcel ID. So that is the name. That is the name, and that is the address. It's Wells Levi. Well, leave. I'm going to leave it. And we're going to open it up, the parcel ID match. And what's good about Clayton County is they actually have so much right there. Like, this is a great start. What I do know is that you have to go to a certain location to get the actual deed, copy of the deed information. But from what I'm seeing here, it's amazing. It gives you a good start. You literally can download everything right here. This is the owner's information here. Here you go. You got the address. We got the right parcel ID. We're just checking it. This for 2020 taxes. So obviously, you know that if you want to refine the results, you can do for 2019 because you have 2. And they should match. The information should match. So this is telling you that the parcel status is active. No other issues with it as far as what they have in the system. They do have a levy on it, and this levy is the collector. Now this is great because in the program we literally show you how to go into the courts and find out if businesses or people have judgments against them. Now this is pretty much here for you. This place have a levy. Now we can go over this in a bonus feature where I can show you how to find this information on the levy. But this was put on to actually, it says sell date 7/6/2021. They must be trying to sell this levy to somebody. And this levy going to be sold on 7/6. Yes, the levy going to be sold to us. Whoever bought a tax lien. You got to be aware if the actual tax property have any other levies. So in course 2, that's some of the things that we teach you, how to look for that specific information. And it's like doing a pre-title search. We teach you how to do a pre-title search without having a title company. You literally can find this information in the public records. So here, Clayton County is amazing. They had this for us. They made it very easy for us. And like I said, in later broadcasts, in bonus feature, if you're part of the buyback team, we'll be able to show you how to look up this information for yourself. So the sale date is the date that we buy the taxes at the end of the day. We're going to be able to buy that lien. But we have to see how much that lien is worth. We already know that this tax lien right here is worth $4,000. So now we can actually go right here on the side. What's amazing is that this is the tax assessor summary, residential information. Now they have information that's set in different blocks. Okay, so this house was built in 1956. The living area is 784 square feet. It says 4 rooms, 2 bedrooms, 1 full bathroom, and it must have a living room or something. So it's pretty small. And this was the information that was updated in 2020. Okay, miscellaneous structures. It don't look like it have any garages or anything. And when you do your actual physical research of the property, you'll be able to see it. Personal property, nothing attached to it. If it's any sketches, they'll have sketches of the property. So this is there's no diagram here. It would be a diagram here or a little picture. Some places, as I showed in other broadcasts, like certain Maryland, in certain areas that I have looked at, very, advanced. They always have a little picture or something you could print out of the parcel. So this was the property class. This is the fair market value. So this right here is about 87,000. You can sell this. Okay. Here we go. Let's see, value history. You can go down and see how the product value increased, decreased. And they started back from 2014 all the way to 2020. And that's just probably based on the market as well. And the building, what was on it. If they added a property to it, they may have added a property around this time. It may not have anything on it. Okay. So this is the assessed value of the land. Okay. Without the property, as I stated. So this is assessed value about 34,000. All right, assessment notice. I love this website because this is all the things that we show you in course 2, but how to do it from separate databases because it don't always have it. Well, we'll wait for that pull up. Let's look at the land. Let's see if we can look at the land and see if we can find any maps. We want to make sure that the map kind of looks similar to what we saw, that we make sure that we're looking at the right thing. This is how you cross-reference. And I think this actually has something. If I wasn't clear, I thought it did. Yes, got to give it a chance. So it's going to give you a kind of area of the map out area. Now, the home is 785 square feet. But if you look at the parcel mapping, this is the total area of the property. So we're going to do a little bit more research on this. As you can see, this is the parcel. These are the parcels. So this is the property, the square foot of the property, but the land in itself, we have to know what the square foot is. That's probably why it's worth $34,000 without the house. Okay, it's got a lot of land to do something with. And that's what you got to pay attention to. So now that we know that the home is little, the property is definitely bigger. This is the full parcel. We could go back and we could look at the property as well because we could see. Let's look at it in this direction. Let's see. Let's go back to this view. No. I want to look at it in this view. Yep. So we can see if it matched the parcel. This is how you cross-reference just looking at the list. And we showed you some of this. I'm trying to get, let me get this one off. Okay. Let's see, can we get it? So we can see ding, 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 ding. We got a little match. All right. Let's get that off the road. With a place like this, you want to definitely go and drive and look at it. Because when you look at the parcel looks pretty big. And you want to verify with the county how big the parcel, because it looks like it was this whole area when we looked. So let's go back to the parcel. Let's see. You see that? It looks about the same. So you want to compare it because either way, it's going to be some slight differences. That's why you want to be able to kind of get different views of it and also be in contact with the authorities of the tax assessor's office, you know, where you can get a better description of the property. They will help you get a better description. Okay. So now let's go back to our search. Let's go back. I wanted to show you something. The value, it was one of the things you need to look at. It's very, very important. Here we go. I think it's the appraisal year. Let's look. I wanted to show you the title, the change of titles, the ownerships. That's something that you really got to pay attention to. Now we're going to go right here because it's sales. We're going to go into sales. That's what we want to look at here. It's telling you this is the information that you need to look for. Here for Clayton County, it's different in every other county. And that's why in the program we show you the different ways of how to search this information, because this will sometimes be in the Clayton, it'll be in the courts separately, this deed information, and it won't be so detailed here. So you'll have to go, but thank God Clayton County is amazing. So now you want to look at right here, is this the key information you need to look? The sales dates. There's no prices up here for some apparent reason, because they must have been just possibly given, through family, or, given through, like you said, a warranty deed, and no money was exchanged. Now here is the book and page number. Now I want you to take notes of that, because if you have to go down into the county to get the information or call in, they're going to ask you for the book and page number. So this is one of the key information you have to have. Now this is the most recent deed information here. So they give you the deed book number, deed page number. You need this. This is the information you need, as well as the grantor. So this is the person who sold it to the grantee, to Wells Levy. This is the name that is currently on the current tax lien bill. So we definitely know that this was a great exchange. This is right, because if you see any different name here, then you like, okay, we're missing a deed, we're missing some type of exchange. The name that, at least on the last grantee, has to be the same name that's on the actual tax lien bill, because that's when you know you're going to have a break in a title. So now we're going to move on, and McGree, Richard, let's see who granted them the title. Let's move to next one. Let's see if it's going to show. Yeah. Now you see the same last name but different name, so it's Jane, and that's why it was no sales price. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, possibly it was just given to family, or basically passed down through generations. So here go the book and page number, and here goes the grantor, the grantee. It was a warranty deed, so we definitely know that it was passed from family to family. In course 2, we talked about the different type of deeds and the type of foreclosure processes that you have to go through. So even if this sounds foreign to you, it's okay. You'll have more detail in course 2. Now we're going into the third deed that we see here. Well, as far as information, where you get the deed information. There go the book. There go the page number. And now we have the grantor as Lovett Charles. So this is where you see the change, and even here this person must have some type of connection, because it was sold for $0. Okay, but the McGree Jane is the grantee, and that was the grantor on the last one that we were on. So we're going to go to the fourth one, and I wanted to go in detail with you about this specific information, because this is what you need to know as far as grantee, grantor information, and seeing if it's a break in the title. If it's a break in the deed/title, you definitely know you're going to have to be coming out your pockets to fix that. So we want to avoid that, and that is some of the things that you avoid. We also have a checklist as well. We're going to be coming up with a little bonus feature after course 2 is released. The do's and don'ts of tax lien investment, just some key things to pay attention to, and that'll be a specific video for the advanced researchers. So here we go. We got all the information that we need. As far as you see, it's consistent with the title, and we do know that Georgia provides a perfected title for us, so we don't really have too much things to worry about as far as when it comes to foreclosure. Just making sure that we have what we need to secure the taxes that's due for the next year. as well as if you need a lawyer to go through the foreclosure process. Now, let's try to look at one more property, since you don't want to just look at one property and go to the tax sale. You want to go look at a few properties. But before we go on to another property, let's do some research on Miss Wells' leave. Okay, we're going to do some research on this person. And that's what I want to show you next, how to look up court documents for. So we're going to go to here. Everything is on this website, Love Clayton County. Sometimes you have to go to different websites, search engines, but it's here. So we're going to go into court records, and we're going to find out something a little bit about the homeowner. We definitely know that we have one levy on that person. So maybe we'll be able to find the information here. And we're going to put the last name in there. I think that's the last name. Oh, let's put all courts. No. Okay. We have to choose the courts. All courts. Magistrates. Everything. Let's choose everything. Criminal. Let's see what come up. All right. Whoa. Wells Levy. Okay, now you see this person must be an advocate investor. They have a lot of suits. Now, we don't know if this is the same person, but this is when you have to take your time and start to do some research. Like, is this property worth it? All right, so let's see if it's the same address. They have different addresses. Okay, is this close to it? Now, they have different addresses. This address is close to the address that we are looking into. Wells Levy, the address is 8010 Crane Road. 8070. Yeah, there they go. This is the same person. Here we go. You see that? So it's property case, pathocenter claim. Don't know what that is. Civil suit, contractor issues, contractor patho. You can go over and see what was the outcome. It says disposed. Here go the case information, the filing date, all the things that happened, and if it's anything most recently. So the most recently is 2019. This may not be a property that you want to even get into. Just right here, it shows you that this person has a lot going on, and most liens or judgments that's not paid are attached to any property that person owns. And because that person's name is attached to this property, this may not be a good investment, but that's just my opinion. So this is when you'll take your time and go in and see what the case is about. Come on, let's open it up. Let's be nosy. Let's see. Can we find out what the case is about? It's a property issue. The calendar date was, the last action was 3/23/2020. So it was dismissed with prejudice, meaning that they can't go back and open this case up again. I'm not going to go into detail, but you can go into detail and find out about this case. So I'm going to leave the link for you, but let's go in and see if we can find one more property for you guys, and then we're just going to go into some basic foreclosure information for the people who need to know as far as Georgia. That's what I wanted to do at first. I wanted to start the broadcast off with that, just going into general Georgia foreclosure information, but we're going to do that last. So let's see, can we play some relaxing music in the background, something. I gotta have some type of music to keep this broadcast going, and we're gonna wrap up in about 15 minutes, but I wanted to go over like one more property, see if we could find something good. All right, let's go down to, we found our personal person. Let's see. Let's look at this house. These houses, what house is worth the most on this? Okay, the next one is actually. So 6977 Silver Maple Drive. Let's look up this property. I don't think it's a good idea to invest in that first property that we saw because of all of the actual tax, not tax issues that he have in court. So I don't think that's a good idea, but this is why we do our preliminary research so we can be on point. So let's go back to the list. We got the address. We pulled it up on Google. Let's see what Google got for us. We're going to take crane off. We don't want that little shack. That little shack got a lot of issues. Let's get that case off. We're going to relook at some other stuff. But I know this is a great process to go step by step with you guys with, so you guys can see it in real time. This is why I'm doing it, because it gets easier and easier as it goes. Okay. All right, we're 40 minutes into the broadcast. Is this the area we want to look into? Make sure we wrote down the right information. What is that? Who uploaded a tax bill next to this picture? They say, hey, you better know it's a tax bill. No, I don't know what that is. I'm cracking jokes. Let's make sure we're writing down the right information, because I just shoot. All right, let's pull it back up again. Let's pull up that list again. All right, so we're definitely at 6977 Silver Maple Drive. I'm writing that down because I'm a visual learner, tactile, auditory. I need it all. And the owners are Boston investors. So we definitely know they're going to be in Boston possibly. So that probably be an easy property to foreclose on. And we're going to definitely take the parcel information. We're going to highlight that so it could be perfect. All right, so before we do that, let's take a look at the property. I wanted to make sure I had the right address, which is 6977 Maple Monroe, Georgia. Let's see. Yeah. All right, that's in Monroe. Let's look at the property. Let's take a look. Take a look. It's not bad looking. We can't go into the property, but we definitely could get a general look of the outside. It looks well kept. The neighborhood looks well kept. We're going to do a little basic search, maybe with a realtor company, to see what the price value is. You know, all of those things that we tell you to do. See if it's in a neighborhood you like. See if it's crime. See what the price value is, the tax value. But we're just doing a basic here for our summer live program, because you know we can't show you everything. We'll be here all day, but we're going to break it down into pieces. So that's the neighborhood looking nice, people keeping their garden good. And because we're in the state of Georgia, we literally can ride by this house. We can ride by, we can pull up on them. I'm sorry, that's been in my head, guys. Every time I turn around, you met a little boy like, pull up on me. We can pull right up on this house, okay? All right, so now we got a little idea of what it looks like. And now we're going to put the parcel information in. Let's check it out. Let's pull it up and see what they're going to do, what they got for us as far as the information, because you know it's going to vary. Sometimes it may have all the information here and it may not. So, all right. So here go the address. We got the right owner, Boston Investor LLC, the right parcel ID number, and we're in the city of Monroe. Sorry. All right, so we got the district information as well as the parcel is active. There's no issues as far as the description. This is my assumption. Okay, so you have to verify. Usually, you know, when things are active and they come to parcel status, that means that it's perfected or it's okay. So this is the current owner, and as you can see, this is the owner address. So we have to take note of that, because if we want to actually look up the court information pertaining to the owner, remember we had to know the address. So we got to know the address and where they live, and we can find out what's going on with this business. So they do have an active lien and this lien will be sold, and most likely this will be on a tax lien file. We can see if it's something outside as well. Foster and Smith collector. So that's outside. That's not a tax sale. That's outside. So we do see right here is showing you they have 2 delinquent tax bills, and the taxes went up like crazy in 2020. Whoa, it went from $1,799 to $3,381. So keep that in mind. The tax is a little expensive. It went up. It's been going up. Maybe Clayton Monroe doing their thing. They building up a little bit. Remember, I told you we talked about opportunity zones. I honestly think Monroe in Clayton County falls under opportunity zones because it's more urbanized. It's a mixed, diverse area. Okay. So let's start going through this. Now, one of the main things we want to look at is with the summary. Let's see if it has any miscellaneous structures, so we'll be able to see. Hopefully, no picture there, but we're going to take a deeper look. Also, later on, after we come back from Maryland, we're going to show you an intro to the GIS map, where you get more detailed view of the property. So we definitely know some detailed information here. So it's frame and stone wall interior. It was built in 1986. A little old, about my age. I'm not that old. Total rooms is 6 rooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathroom. It got a half a basement. That's amazing. And the total basement area is 1,316 square feet. The living area 368 square feet. So it's pretty even. So it got a basement structure. What else? Added points. So we've got to figure out what these added points, if it have a garage in the back, or we see it got a garage in the front, if it have like a shed or something in the back, something to add some value to it. Fair market value of the land is $18,000. Improvement with the do apologize. Improvements with basically the home on it is $106,000. Total market value of this home is $124,000. So we definitely got to know our initial investment. We're gonna go back and look at that. But the fair market value totally for this home is $124,000, and the land is. The land in itself is $7,200. Improvements on it, and the total value plus the 40%. So we break that down in course 2, so you can understand exactly what that means. But we're kind of just breezing through some information. The last sale date was August 10th, 2018 for $82,500. Okay. Now, we're going to go just down to see, can we get a sketch or look at the property, and then we're going to look at the sales, because that's the most important property. Whoa, that's nice. That's probably the back value is talking about. So we definitely know, because I think it's a garage. You saw the garage there? Main building, garage. Ooh, that's not too bad. Somebody got to pay their taxes, or somebody else going to pay taxes on this property. And as you can see, the box is the whole full land, okay? The land in itself. So they give you a detail of the garage, the deck, and this is the deck. It has an open porch. Nice. In the main building, okay? Let's look at some values. Let's see what it says. Some of the stuff we looked at already. Fair market value. We can see how the property increased in its value over the years. So 2014, it started at $69,000, and now in 2020, it's $124,000. Okay, that's the fair market value. That's not with the taxes that's due on it. Okay, this year assessed value basically on the land in itself. Okay, here we go. Now let's go to the sales. I want to just go to the sales. And let's see if we got a break in the title. We're not going to go through every last one of them, but we're going to start. So I want to see if we got any break in the title. We don't want no drama. So Boston investors Silverson Jerry Lee as trust sold to them. So we want to see Silverson Jerry Lee name on grantee on the next one that we look at. Please be aware of the deed book number and the book and page number, because when you go to get a copy of the deed, you need this information. And some places will allow you to do a copy of request online, and some will make you call and they can mail it to you, or some will make you come in. You're just going to have to figure that out. Okay, so here we go. Silverson Jerry or Mary Lou. And here we go, the grantee right here. We see it right here. It's the trustee of the property. No sales of this must be a generational exchange. So we see no break in the title. No break in the title. That's good. See how much this property is worth? People going to be bidding on this one right here. So right here was when the property was sold in 2008. The sale price was for $55,000. First Bank of Henry Co. sold it to Jerry, okay? And that could be the mortgage, the loan that was on it prior. Now let's move. Let's see. First Bank of Henry Co. is on the next title. Well, sales detail. They had posted bought it from somebody. Yes. First Bank of Henry Co., also known as First Financial Services, bought it from Jamestown Land Co. LLC. And this is what you got to do. This right here will tell you, should you buy it? Shouldn't you buy it? Should you buy it? Shouldn't you buy it? Now, we're going to move on to refine our search to basically look up some information about the actual Boston Investors LLC. So now we're going to go to court cases. Clayton County, this is, we'll leave the link for you. All you got to do is put in a Google search, Clayton County court cases, Google search, and what we're going to look at for all, and we're going to put the name in. Let's see, can we find it? Sometimes you'll find it. Investors deal. Now, sometimes you just got to take your time and look. Let's make sure we got the right information as far as the name. Boston Investors LLC. We want to put everything to see, because if we can't find nothing, they got to have something in there. I'm going to put Boston. Let me make sure that I'm putting the right names to him. That is the right name. But this is how you start to do your search. Let's see. We're going to do one more time to see if we can find anything as far as what's on this company. But we definitely know, see if they have any judgments on them, if they have any court matters. I'm switching back and forth, y'all, because I want to make sure I got everything correct, because one little click of the spell wrong or anything. Okay, let's try one more time. They may not have anything in the system, but we're going to look, because that's going to tell you we want to have anything to do with them. We already know from the last property, like, heck no, that person got a lot of judgments, a lot of issues, but they can all just be like landlord-tenant cases. So that's why you have to take your time and look. Okay, we're going to just Investors LLC. Let's see what we find. There you go. Because you know, with these funny names, oh, Lord. And then I'm going to just put Boston up there, because, you know, sometimes they may have just Boston because that name is common. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to basically get into Georgia foreclosures laws. Just a few intro. So let's just put Boston up there to see, can we find it? You never know. I gotta swear. You never know. You always gotta refine your search. Let me put the, maybe they put it under Boston. All right. Let me see. Let's look. Let's see. We're going to get to Boston investment. We found Boston. See, sometimes you just got to put one name in there because, let's go down. Let's try. You can't give up because you want to get as much information as possible. Sometimes your search, you take 2 hours to search, but you want to be safe than sorry. Okay. We're looking, J. Let's see. There's no Boston investments. We're trying to go by last name is in alphabetical order. H-I-J. So we got the J's. Let's see. Nope, it's none. So we don't see anything right now for Boston investments. But on the bonus track, if you want to know how to go into detail to find information about wills, people's, if they have wills that's connected to property, the deed information, I want you guys to be part of the buyback team and get into the family. So here is where you're going to find the information. We're going to be uploading. We almost got about 500 members. Yay! We're working our way up. And this is where I upload a lot of the videos. The reason why I kind of hesitate on YouTube, because YouTube, you always find some type of copyright, even if you're talking the whole thing. So I do upload these videos here, as well as we upload them on Facebook to the Facebook group where you're watching it from. And I just wanted to give you guys an update on the actual website. So there's no more free membership. There's no more free membership. It's $5 membership. That membership will be a one-time membership to all access videos that we have in alphabetical order, as well as member discounts. We also have a free consultation for members, 30 minutes consultation. So I want you to go in there and look at it. Also, we have articles and tons of information to get you acclimated to the tax lien process. So wanted to show you the little updates that we did on primetime home buyers. I can't wait for you guys to get into the course to be advocate strong tax lien investors and be part of the buyback team. Maybe next summer we'll be riding with you, going to see what you invest in. Okay, so now let's get to just finishing off our broadcast with some information about Georgia foreclosure laws. Okay, now for the ones who are going through this process, there are some issues going on with people as far as not being able to pay their mortgage, not being able to actually, be committed to the commitments they had as far as being homeowners because of the pandemic, loss of employment, all types of issues. What that goes to say, I think people need to be aware of their options. So we're not just here to teach the buyback team about how to acquire tax liens and tax deeds through people's, losing their home through taxes, but we want to educate the average homeowner on steps to kind of slow down your process a little bit. If you're in that situation, you possibly can come up with a plan B, C, or D. Okay, so Georgia foreclosure law. In Georgia, almost all foreclosure are non-judicial. Okay, we go over details of what non-judicial foreclosure versus judicial foreclosure in course 2, which means the mortgage company does not need to take you to court. Okay, and a lot of tax liens are non-judicial tax processes, but we don't have to take the person to court. It's basically administrative process of turning the deed over to the new owner. But you have to be, aware of what state you're invested in and what the actual tax laws are, foreclosure laws. So as you can see, the homeowner needs to be aware of that first Tuesday of every month, just like we need to be aware of that second Tuesday when it actually goes up on the auction. So the first Tuesday of every month, foreclosure sales in Georgia occur the first Tuesday of each month on the court steps between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. So it's the first or second week, and we definitely know it is. Yeah, we're in the first week. So yes, July the 6th is the first week. We'll be going to that tax sale. You will receive as a homeowner 30-day letter. For most mortgages, notice must be sent to the homeowner no less than 30 days before the foreclosure sale date by certified mail or registered overnight mail. So you had that time to actually file for mitigation as a homeowner. When you have that time is usually granted like a 4-week grace period. So 4 weeks legal aid. The foreclosure sale must be advised in the local, advertised in the local newspaper once for a week, 4 consecutive weeks prior to the sale of foreclosure. The notice must include the name, address, phone number of the individual or entity who has the full authority to negotiate, amend, or modify the terms of the mortgage. At that time, as a homeowner, you have the time to reply to that foreclosure notice. Reply, so you can set up mitigation, some type of payment plan, and or delay the process just a little bit. I'm just going to keep it real. How can the scheduled foreclosure sale be stopped? 1, pay up the back due taxes or the mortgage. In most cases, the mortgage company would accept payment of the arrears to stop the foreclosures. Get written confirmation from the mortgage company when you make up any type of agreement with them. You got to, anybody you make an agreement with, get it in writing. You have to, okay? That's when you know they're going to be honorable to everything. No offense, okay? Also, obtain a foreclosure lawyer to help you in the process so they can make sure that they cancel the foreclosure. This is sometimes something you have to do. If you don't know how to do that as a homeowner, you may want to seek some consultation. 2, work out payment arrangement with the mortgage company, as we told you. 3, you can sell the home prior to the foreclosure sale, but once the papers are in court, you cannot do that. So if you know that you're not going to be able to pay your mortgage in the next upcoming month, and let's say you have, like Georgia, 30 days, they start the foreclosure process, but let's say you're in another state, you have 2 months. That second month, you can put your home out for sale before that next mortgage is due and payment is due. And if you have somebody that's going to pay for that home and move forward on the process, that will stop anything. But they always advise you to pay the mortgage. But even if that do happen, they start the foreclosure process, they can't, because you actually have transfer of title things going on. So seek a lawyer information. The detail says to get an experienced real estate agent. If you have equity, do a full sale so the sale proceeds will pay off the mortgage loan. Okay? If you got equity in the house, don't lose it. Don't lose it to taxes. Don't lose it to one mortgage payment. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes you just got to rob Peter to pay Paul in bad situations. So if you have equity in a home, sometimes it's best to do a quick sale. Beware of short sales, selling for the amount less than the mortgage balance. That's a problem. Potential problems with short sales include being sued for the deficiency amount. So if you sell it for less than what the actual loan that you owe, you're going to still owe that balance. But you have an option. This is why we're talking about this to the people who possibly may go through a foreclosure process. Okay. Next, enter into your deed of lieu of foreclosure. Consider this option. Now, when you do course 2, our tax lien investment family, we break this down. What's deed in lieu of foreclosure? What is all the process of foreclosures? So this is just for our people and you, so you can educate your family. This is for the people who may go through the foreclosure process. Consider this option when there is no equity in the home. Negotiate cash for keys and move out in a move out date. Make sure the exchange is even, and whether or less you are all liable for the mortgage loan. So you need to know who's going to be liable for the mortgage loan. That has to be written out in that agreement of that short sale, and that's done. It's called deed in lieu of foreclosure. That's when you have no equity in the home, okay? Or you can file bankruptcy. Now, when you file bankruptcy, doesn't mean that you don't have to pay it off. Mortgages, for the most part, they set up a payment plan for you, or a certain amount that you have to pay off as far as to satisfy the bankruptcy agreement. So the bankruptcy may involve a repayment plan to catch up on arrears, a plan to obtain a loan modification, a plan to pay off the mortgage using proceeding of reserve mortgage for seniors, or a plan to sell the home. If you have legal claims arise out of the mortgage loan, you should raise such claims in the context of the bankruptcy. So if you have anything going on, you have to bring that up to the bankruptcy lawyer and have them negotiate everything, even the home. But just because you could file bankruptcy doesn't mean that you're not going to have to pay some money back, okay? Foreclosure sale. If you believe you have a legal claim arise out of the mortgage loan or scheduled foreclosure sale, talk to a lawyer immediately, especially given the complexity of the mortgage and the law. So if you feel like you have equity in a property that's going to be foreclosed, get a lawyer and go seek that property, meaning like if they're foreclosing on a property that belongs to someone who is a decedent that passed away, and you're the person who's supposed to be the beneficiary, and you don't want that property sold, and you're going to take on a liability. You as a beneficiary has the right to seek claim for that property. Okay. What if the foreclosure sale has already taken place? Right. So sometimes you still have time, depending on the state, to actually pay your penalties that's due. So I want y'all guys to be aware of that. It depends on your particular state. Okay. After the foreclosure sale, you are no longer owner of the home, and the purchase can be filed as a dispository warrant if you fail to vacate after demand to do so. The purchaser of the foreclosure sale is typically the management company, but maybe the investor. And we know as tax liens, we're the investor, and it's not going to be a management company. The post foreclosure depository process is as follows. So you have a few times to stay there if you're going to try to hold out, but at the end of the day, you may want to negotiate with whoever's the owner and see, can you start a payment plan with them or pay them some funds until you get out. You know, cash for keys. In some cases, the buyers at the foreclosure sale may offer cash for keys, which typically requires you to move out all of the family belongings and leave the home in bare cleaning condition by a certain date. Consider this option if you realistically can comply with the written terms of the deadline provided. Wrongful foreclosure. If you believe you have legal claims or wrongful foreclosure, talk with a lawyer immediately. If your goal is to remain in a home, your lawyer will need to act quickly. So that's some of the information I wanted to share with you guys, because we're not just here to take people property. We're not just here to scoop up property by taxes. We want people to be educated. Our homeowners who has a mortgage, our homeowners who don't have a mortgage, y'all all have options as far as saving your home. But if it comes to a point where you can't, there are other routes that you can go. If you know people who are willing to invest in the tax lien of your home and be the owner of that home while you be a tenant, there's something that can be done. Just need you guys to be aware that you have options. So I want to say thank you so much for being here with us today. We're going to close out with just our buyback video for you guys. I want you guys to get in course 1 so you can get caught up and then get in course 2. We got so much to learn, and we're going to see you next week because we're going to be live at Clayton County Tax Auction. I hope to see you there.